All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday, December 2nd. We got 4 NBA plays coming your way in today's video. We are still on the road, but a lot of you guys will be happy to know, and I'm happy as well, that this is the last road recording for a while. We are traveling back tonight. So, guess what? We'll be back to the normal scheduled broadcasting starting tomorrow, where we go through each and every game. I'll give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We talk about any of the plays like player props that we like within the game as well. We go through it all. But again, one more time, we have a hybrid version of the video, which we do when we are on the road here. Recapping yesterday. Finally, if we had the soundboard, we'd be pumping in some crowd noise or something, because we finally have a winning day on the road. Shout out to, we had 2 comments yesterday, both pretty much saying the same thing. One of them saying, man, Ev's home and road splits are crazy right now, because hadn't been the best road trip for us. So looking forward to getting back to our habitat in our normal environment. But again, go 2-3 or 2-1 last night out of our 3 plays. Pistons money line, Jalen Duren 15 plus, that comes through. AJ Green, our added play, comes through. Miles Bridges, big yikes, I guess. Like, everything was there for him. It even visually looked like he had chances there, and he just played some bad basketball. I think I may have been able to beat Miles Bridges yesterday. So bad look on our end there. But again, a positive, winning, positive night. Can't get too mad about it. Guys, before we get into the 5 plays, today is the very last day of our Cyber Monday sale, up to 50% off all of the merch. Go ahead and check it out, fademe.store. I'll put that link down in the description as well as the pinned comment. You guys have been absolutely crushing it so far, and I made the comment yesterday like I'm bleeding money. People are like, what do you mean you're getting sales? We're losing some dollars on a lot of these orders, guys, because we have the discounts so heavily priced. But it is the time of the year where I say, hey, screw it. I want you guys to get this product in hand and experience how amazing it is. So if you want great product, you're a sports bettor, check out the merch, fademe.store. Also, if you want to support us and support the channel and get great merch at the same time, fademe.store. No code needed. The discounts automatically apply, and they should be showing on the screen when browsing. So I'll put that link down below in the description as well as the pinned comment. But let's get into play number 1 here. We have 1 spread pick, and this is it, and then 3 player props I want to look at. So Toronto minus 4.5 is the first one that we're taking a peek at here, as they take on the Blazers. Now, Toronto coming off 2 straight losses. They were playing some really good basketball before that, but the biggest thing I want to note here is how good they are at home. Now, they're 7-2 straight up at home. Portland, negative on the road. They do have a couple more road wins than they do home wins. But overall, I don't think this is going to be all that much of a... I shouldn't say it like that, but I would say I think Toronto is the far better team. I was going to say I don't think it'll all be all that much of a competition, but obviously it's the NBA, and Portland has been a pesky team. The biggest thing here is that this Portland squad likes to shoot either at the rim, so in the restricted area, or from above the break and just in general the three-point line. Well, Toronto is one of the best three-point defenses in the entire league so far this season, so obviously you like to see that when taking a peek here, right? But even in the restricted area, I mean, they can play some serious defense. They're top 13 in terms of points in the paint allowed, and I really do like the idea of, them being better defensively down there. I think with the combination of Jakob Poeltl, who's obviously a big body, and Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram, even 2 long kind of, I don't want to call Brandon Ingram a stretch big, but 2 guys that can definitely, help protect that rim. I think that is a very good spot here for both of them. And obviously, we do have a bunch of injuries on the side of Portland too, right? Like, Donovan Clingan is the big man I referenced before. He's questionable. I think he is playing today, but he is questionable. And Drew Holiday is still out. I've said all along so far this year on the channel that Drew Holiday, coming from the Celtics, right? I knew that he would be very, very important to a young team like Portland's success. But when he doesn't play, it works the reverse. It's a big detriment, and I do think that is a factor here. Now, I'll give Portland some credit, right? Like, they've had a really, really tough schedule just for their last 5 games. Ready? Golden State, OKC, Milwaukee, San Antonio, OKC. Before that, it was Dallas. Not that great of a team, I guess, but the Bulls, Suns, Houston. Like, they have had a tough schedule. I would argue the hardest schedule in the league, depending on what you value in terms of strength of schedule. Is it wins? Is it a record, or is it sort of quality wins and that type of thing? I'd argue that they are up there for hardest schedule in the entire league. But Toronto is a good team. Now, I should mention RJ Barrett, obviously still out. I think he comes back, or they're hoping he comes back next week. But regardless of that, I do think that this is a spot in which Toronto should be able to get into the paint. They should be able to score at the rim, which is going to be very, very good. If they do try to shoot from 3, they may have some troubles. That's where Portland is good defensively. But again, that's not exactly where I think this one goes. And if Toronto wants to up the pace. Now, Portland plays at a fast pace, but it's kind of just because of the lack of defensive efficiency. Toronto, a slower pace team technically, again, than Portland, but they run in terms of transition frequency at the third highest rate. Portland, third lowest rate right now in the league. So I sit there and I'm like, if this game does turn into transition, which both these teams should be down to do, Toronto's going to have a lot more quality possessions in transition. So I like to look for Toronto minus 4.5 there. Let's move on to play number 2. Like I said, I got 3 player props coming your way now, and any added plays, guys, I'll put down in the pinned comment, so make sure you check out the pinned comment because we added AJ Green yesterday and it ended up being a very, very good look. So yeah, as we record these videos that are a little bit different, we still want to be able to add plays and go through the entire slate, and we take a little bit more time to do that, obviously, after recording this too. So hopefully if, we do add something, it helps us out and doesn't go against us. But keep an eye on the pinned comment and keep checking that thing. Derek White over 2.5 threes. This should be a very, very good look. He's going up against this Knicks squad in which last 10 games here against the Knicks, he's averaging 4.36 threes per game. He's hit in 11 of 10 games. You look at the Knicks, their three-point defense is not exactly the best, right? I mean, they're very, very good. I'll give them that credit at stopping points in the paint, top 5 team. But on the season, they're allowing 28th, so what, the third most, that's a tongue twister, third most points allowed from 3. Now, a lot of it's coming from the corner threes, which isn't necessarily Derek White's forte, but 55.2% of his shots are coming from downtown. I like the spot here. In terms of spot up frequency, Knicks are allowing more spot ups than any other team in the league. Spot up effective field goal percentage, they're bottom 8 in the entire league. So I think this is going to be a good look for Derek White to both have like a quality game, but also some serious volume behind him. Like if there's one thing, and I hate throwing out the G word, guarantee, I almost want to guarantee that Derek White has a ton of attempts in this game, right? Meaning 3-3 shouldn't be all that tough. I also considered Peyton Pritchard, kind of taking a peek at him, and then almost fading Jaylen Brown. But Jaylen Brown does get up and get grindy, for big games, you know what I mean? But the Knicks are very, very good isolation-wise, and Pritchard isolates a little bit more, Jaylen Brown isolates a little bit more, so I figured Derek White, even if he's not going to be scoring in his primary way as the pick-and-roll ball handler, he should get a ton of spot-up opportunities. Like I said, the quantity is realistically what I'm looking for here, even more than anything quality-wise, and it doesn't hurt to see him, obviously hitting 10 of his last 11 games against this Knicks squad at home, 5 of 5, averaging 5.2. Now, obviously, those are coming, in different years. They played the Knicks on the road this year. He did have 3 threes on, I believe it was 11 attempts. We would take that again, even though it's a pretty poor shooting. I think it's like 25, 27% from 3. We'd take that again because he goes out there and makes 3, right? Guys, before we get to the next 2 plays, I do want to talk to you about Underdog. If you haven't checked out Underdog yet, what are you doing? They have a Thursday Night Football free square already live. It's Jahmyr Gibbs here, 0.0 rushing plus receiving yards. He catches 1 ball for 1 yard, boom, it cashes. He rushes 1 attempt for 1 yard, boom, it cashes. But that's not even the best deal that they're offering. Right now, you can still play $5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play $5, get 100. That is absolutely crazy. You do not want to be looking back and be like, wow, I'm signing up for Underdog, but I missed that deal if you wait any longer. Because I don't know. I'm being honest. I don't know how long this deal will last. So go check it out. That link will be down below in the description, as well as the pinned comment. Again, play $5, get 100. Obviously a really, really good deal there, and you do not want to miss out. And you get that free square for Jahmyr Gibbs. You throw that into your entry, you're going to obviously multiply whatever you are winning there. So go check it out, guys. You have a couple days for that Jahmyr Gibbs square, obviously, as it kicks off Thursday Night Football. Play number 3 here, Dante DiVincenzo. I kind of went back and forth in this one, whether I liked his points, I liked his threes. Settled on his points plus assists. First and foremost, I do like his ability to be able to shoot in, from above the break here against this Pelicans squad. I think that's going to be fairly easy for him to get some points, right? He shoots 61% of his shots from above the break. This is a bottom 5 defense there. He also can run in transition, hit the spot ups, he'll get to the foul line, a bunch of good stuff. The reason I ended up throwing in the assists is because some of these guys who, I could consider somewhat comparable. Brandon Podziemski, he hit his line. He had 21 points plus assists on an 18.5 line. Jalen Wells had 26 points plus assists on 15.5 line. Even Dyson Daniels had 18 points plus assists on a 16.5 line. Luke Kennard hit his over in points plus assists. So I do think that he could have a lot of usage in this game, especially if they do go up big and they still want a confident ball handler with the rock and they don't want to be relying too much on Anthony Edwards or even Julius Randle, right? Like this would be a bad game for those guys to go out there and have to play a bunch of minutes. Now, if they have to, that means this game's close, and I like it even more, right? Because now Dante's going to be involved, but I could see Dante DiVincenzo going out there and getting, 15 points, 3 assists, or, 14 points, 3 assists, something like that, almost as a floor. And his line right now at 16.5, that's where I have his floor pegged at, right? So I do like this spot for him to go out there and hit the over, but I think there's a lot of upside here, whether it's the 3-pointers or the points or something like that. Now, right now his threes are at like 3.5 for, plus 140. So obviously, that's a little bit of a risk. But even if we use the odds makers lines and say, hey, okay, over 2.5, they have it at minus 180. So they're almost telling us, with those odds at least, they think we're going to score, he's going to hit 3 threes, right? That's 9 out of the 16.5 that we need. Now, from an assist perspective, his line's at 3.5. Okay, say he finishes at 3. We're already at 12. We need Dante in a favorable matchup to go out there and figure out, another 4 to 5 to 6 points to make this kind of sweat free. So I do like the matchup. If the Pelicans somehow keep this close, I think it's even better for him. But even if they don't, I think his usage actually might increase a little bit because the ball doesn't need to go to Anthony Edwards in these clutch situations or Julius Randle or something like that, right? So I think there's multiple ways that Dante is actually in an advantageous spot, an opportunistic spot today in this game. Watch him go out there and have like 1 point on 32 minutes played. Hey, we've probably done worse before. We actually have. If everyone recalls, I can't believe I'm bringing this up, last year, Noah Clowney, 0 points. We loved him. Let's move on to the last play of the game. This is a little bit more of a flyer for plus 135 right now. Moses Moody over 2.5 threes. Now, if you look at Moses Moody on the season, you're like, okay, he's only done this in, 8 of 19 games at home. He has done it in 5 of 8, though. I will throw that out there. And this is a guy that, Steph Curry is out of this game, right? And they're playing the Thunder. So you sit there and you're like, okay, well, how are they going to score? Because first and foremost, that is their offense, right? Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, these guys, even Brendan Podziemski, these guys will look to get in the paint a lot more than Moses Moody. And the problem with getting in the paint against this Thunder team is that they're just the best team in the league in terms of points in the paint. Now, 42% in the paint to their opponents, right? Field goal percentage, but 58.3 at the rim. That is ridiculous numbies. So I think that this is going to be a spot, much like we talked about Derek White, where Moody does get his quantity. Do I think that he's going to get as much as, this Derek White? Maybe not, because this is still a very good Thunder defense just in general. I will say, from the corner and above the break, they're a bottom half team in the league in terms of frequency. So they are allowing teams to shoot, but not exactly at a crazy clip or crazy percentage or anything like that. But I do think that this is a spot in which Moody, for plus 135, could go out there and have a big game. The last time we looked at him, right, he finished at, I believe it was 8 threes. We had that career high night for him. So I don't mind him yet again in this spot. And then we took his points a few weeks later, like a week or so later, against Utah, and he came through. So Moses Moody is like coming through for us. I'd hate for this to be the letdown, but for plus 135, I couldn't pass this up. I don't see how the Warriors come into this one and think, okay, we can't jack threes. You know what I mean? So I do like this as play number 4. And man, oh man, I'm glad to get back to the regular videos because these angles, more chins, more wins, out to play. And we haven't been having the wins. We've just been displaying more chins. But guys, comment chins if you made it this far into the video. That's going to wrap it up for me for today. Really do appreciate everyone rocking and sticking along as, we go through these road videos. Because obviously the quality and the sound and everything like that, the visual isn't up to sniff. But I'd rather keep grinding, growing this community, building something special here than saying, hey, we're gone for the week. Let's take it off. I don't think I operate like that. So really do appreciate everyone. Again, go ahead and check out Underdog, and definitely go ahead and check out our Black Friday through Cyber Monday, last day of the sale. Catch you guys in the next one, right? Peace out.